I know you probably just want to jump in and start doing things and start designing your website, but you're much better off just learning the absolute basics and then going all on out. So I'm going to be talking about Elementor widgets and what is a widget and how do you know which widgets to use and all of that good stuff. So let's start. So I've already covered, what this is, explaining the interface and everything, but now it's time to go into more details about these widgets, which you can see right here. So depending on whether or not you're using the pro version of Elementor or the free, at the moment I'm using the free, but down the line of this video series, I'm going to upgrade it to pro. So what you can see, you've got basic, pro, general, site, WooCommerce, and WordPress, and each of these contain a different widget, which is used for a different reason. Now, a widget is basically a box full of lots of cool little things, and it's done for you, so you don't need to worry about the code. It's already done, and all you need to do is open that box up or drag it into your canvas area, and you can have all the perks of it without any of the complications that go with coding and these sort of things. So let's go ahead and click on basic, and what you can see is we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, we've got 10 widgets. Okay, and if you look at them closely, you'll be able to see that each one is titled a different thing. Now, I'm not going to talk about sections just yet, because the next video I'm actually going to be talking about sections, or before this video. I'm not sure what order I'm going to do it yet, but you'll see as we go on. So let's start off with heading. Okay, so the heading is text, and this is usually going to be the title of the page. Now, you've got lots of different things, and this is where dynamic content really comes into action. But if you've not got the pro version, you're not going to be able to use it. However, I'm going to talk about dynamic actions down the line because it's really related to templates and other things. But let's just say you wanted to do a simple heading. So let's say the heading for this page is going to be services. Actually, no, this is the home page. Okay, so usually on the home page you don't have the title home, you have the title of the website. So for example, it's going to be welcome to Buy and Sell Manchester. And if you're curious about what Buy and Sell Manchester is, it used to be a Facebook group I had, and I created a whole directory, but I got rid of it because it was causing me more hassle, and I'm not into hassle. So yeah, so there it is. So instantly you can see, wow, I've now got my heading there. But we can do all different things with it, such as we can align it in the center. So you can see here you've got left, center, right, and justified. Let's go ahead and do center. And you can see you've also got the size options, which is similar if you've ever used a drag and drop builder to most buttons, but you can apply it with heading tags as well. And again, don't worry about what H1, 2, 3, 4 and all of that is, because we're going to cover that down the line. For now, just leave it all as default, because you will be going back over things to edit things again, because websites are never truly finished. So, just if you're starting to build now, fantastic, start building. But you can see that you've got the text here, and that's our heading. So, welcome to Buy and Sell Manchester. And if you click on the style tab, you can change the color of it. So you can actually click and you can change it to, let's say, this color here. Now, what's really cool and a nice little touch is that you can actually store the color profile by selecting the color like so, and then clicking add picked color. And you can see that that's actually been added there. So let's say you want to duplicate this or add another one. You would either click on this square box here and then drag the heading in, or you can right click on the current profile and do duplicate. If you want to delete it, you just right click and do delete. Now let's go ahead and drag the title in, and let's say you want it to be that color. So you can click style and then text color, and then you can see that color that we stored before is there, and you can do it like so. Now let's delete that again and let's drag it in again, and let's just say now one of the truly unique things about Elementor, which they have done such a good job on, is the way you can do a copy and paste style to any element. So for example, you can see what I'm going to do, the number one directory in Manchester. Okay, so now I want all the color, and let's say I'm just going to change. Let's change this font to click on typography, change family, and just change it to Helvetica. Okay, now I want this text to remain the same, but I want the color and the font to change to this. Okay, so what I would do is right click on this widget and copy, and then click on this widget and right click and paste style. And do you see that's actually pasted the exact style? So you don't need to manually change the color, you don't need to manually change the weight or the typography or anything like that, because it's done for you. How simple, how easy was that? Okay, and if you want to make this smaller or bigger, all you do is click on style, typography, and you can change the size just like so. Now you can see that there's actually a ton of options, and to walk you through every single option and the use of it is probably counterproductive because it's too much to absorb in one go. What actually needs to happen is you dive into this software and you start doing things, start editing things, start messing around, and not being so scared about breaking things, because if you break something, you can delete it and start again. Or but it's really important that you start doing it, because it doesn't matter if you've got the best tool in the world, unless you learn how to use that tool, it's not going to do you much good. Okay, so you should be jumping in and starting to play around with all the widgets, seeing, oh, hold on, what's this image widget here? What does this do? Oh, that's cool. What can I do with this widget? Oh, look, there's an image there. Insert media. Oh, cool. Now I've got this widget. Hold on, if I move this here and drag it around, oh, it does that. And look, that can be a logo. Do you see? And if you click on this and add a little button, you've got everything. What does the justified button do? Well, I'm just going to click it. Oh, it makes it the full width of a section, which we're going to cover shortly. Oh, now it's the full width of a section, but I don't really like it like that. Center. Oh, that's cool. And do you see, just by clicking buttons, you start getting bigger and better results. And, all of a sudden, you've got a full-blown website on your hand that you've built, and you've done it fairly fast because you're not so scared about screwing up. Okay, it's natural to screw up, it's okay to screw up. What's important is that you learn from it. And yeah, so this is the power of the widgets, and that's basically what a widget is. It's a done for you box of goodies that's waiting for you to use. Okay, take a video if you want to add a video here. Boom. Okay, and then all you do is type in the URL. So let's go to YouTube. Okay, and let's just type in Marty Englander, which, by the way, if you didn't know, I've actually got a YouTube channel. So go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want ongoing business advice about how to do things online. And let's take this video, copy link address, and I'm just going to paste it in here. Boom. Do you see how simple that actually is? Okay, and this is the power of widgets. Every single widget does a specific action for you, so you don't need to hand code it. Okay, and if you do know any CSS or code, you can actually manually add it in by going to advanced, and this is for the more techie people. So if you're not 100% sure what it is, don't worry, it really doesn't matter. But for the more techie people, you can add IDs and classes, and you can go into custom CSS if you've got pro or attributes. Okay, so there's so much to do, and what's really nice about this is that it allows you to manipulate the system even further by doing absolute or fixed positions just like this. Now, it's not always recommended to use this sort of technique to building sites, but if you can't get something the way you want it, and you just need it to move along, well, this is how you do it. Just go to the position, absolute, fixed, and boom. Okay, so that is basically what you need to know about widgets. And if you just jump in and start just dragging them in, seeing what each one does. Oh, icon, what does this do? Oh, it's just an icon. Can I change it? Yeah, by clicking on it. Oh, look at this, it's a store. Insert. Oh, now I've got an icon of a store. What can you use with icons? There's so many things you can use. Yeah, and you've got all of these icons just ready to go out of the box sort of stuff. What else have we got? A spacer. Well, what does a spacer do? Let's have a look. Drag that in. Oh, it just adds some space to elements I want it to go. Okay, and then just delete it. Boom. Now, what else have we got? We've also got the text editor. Okay, what's the difference between a heading and a text editor? Well, you can see here, text editor allows you to add paragraphs and stuff like that. Headings are just for quick, specific wording and what's not. But there's really not that much difference between everything. It's just which widget is going to be the best option for you. So you now know if you want to give the page a title on the screen, a heading widget is best for you. If you want to add paragraphs and all sorts of things like this, well, the text editor is the best widget for you, as you can see. If you want to change the coloring or the positioning or anything like that, well, you now know that every single widget comes with a style menu found here. So all you need to do is click on the element and click the style, and that will give you the styling that you need. And as you can see, if you've not yet already, that this plugin gives you all the flexibility you need to be able to design a high converting and somewhat professional website. Obviously, the better and the more you use this, the better your sites are going to get. And finally, what is Google Maps? What does this do? Well, have you ever seen on a contact page where there's a map and the map positions your business? Well, that's all you do. So you just enter the address in here and boom. And then if you want to zoom in, there you go, you can see. And that's basically everything you need to know about widgets and how to do it. And remember, you can style everything. There's a lot of options here, and it will actually be, like I said before, counterintuitive for me to go through every single widget and teach you every single specific thing with that widget, because ultimately it's your imagination and your wax on, wax off mentality that's actually going to help you learn this and learn it whether it's fast or not. But you can see it's just drag and drop, so you're going to pick it up at the click of a fingers. Now let's go ahead and just have a look at the pro version. So although you don't have the pro version, this is where dynamic things come into play. And again, I'm not going to go into too much, but it's a good way of syncing all your blogs in one place or performing one action and pulling it across multiple pages. You've got the store option that I mentioned in the plugins a while back. And then you've got WordPress. So these are widgets that are already built into WordPress. Ideally, you don't really use these if you're using Elementor and you're using Elementor Pro. If you're not using Elementor Pro, you'll probably be more inclined to have a look at these. But realistically, you probably won't be using them. And then you've got the site stuff. So you can put in dynamic menus and all sorts of just really nice little stuff. Okay, so that's the end of widgets, and I'm going to go ahead and, if I've not already, start explaining sections in the next